Welcome back and thank you for tuning into Reddit Cheating Stories. We appreciate every single one of you. We love to know what part of the world are you watching from right now. Let's dive into today's story. I had always believed that marriage was built on love, respect, and mutual support. My wife, Jessica, and I had been together for 8 years, and for most of that time, I thought we were happy. But things changed when I made a decision that most people wouldn't understand. I owned a multi-million-dollar tech company, a business I had built from the ground up with blood, sweat, and sleepless nights. After years of grinding, I had finally reached a point where I wanted to step back and enjoy life. So, I appointed a CEO to run daily operations while I remained a silent owner, collecting profits in the background. Jessica didn't see it that way. To her, I was just a jobless man wasting his life away. She would often make snide comments about my lack of employment, trying to make me feel guilty for not contributing to the household income. At first, it started with small, subtle remarks. "Must be nice not having to work while I bring in the real money," she would say with a fake smile. Then the comments got sharper. "I thought I married a man with ambition," she sneered one evening when I didn't respond to her usual complaints. I ignored it. I knew the truth, knew that I had built something incredible and was now reaping the rewards. But Jessica. She was obsessed with image. She wanted to brag about her successful career and be seen as the breadwinner. One night, we attended a dinner party with her co-workers and friends. The conversation naturally drifted to work, and someone turned to me, asking, "So, Mark, what do you do these days?" Before I could answer, Jessica burst out laughing. "Oh, Mark," she said, smirking. "He doesn't do anything. Just a stay-at-home husband, living off my hard work." The table erupted in laughter. I could feel the heat rising in my face, but I didn't let it show. Instead, I simply smiled, nodded, and let her have her moment. That night, on the way home, she kept going. "You know, maybe you should start looking for a job, Mark. It's getting embarrassing for me." That was the final straw. Jessica had no idea that the company she worked for, the one she constantly bragged about, was mine. She and her little circle of work friends had no clue that I owned the very company that paid their salaries. I decided it was time to teach her a lesson. The next morning, I made a call to my CEO. "I want a list of all employees," I said. "It's time for some restructuring." Within a week, I had reviewed all the necessary files. Jessica and her 2 best friends at work, Claire and Samantha, had average performance, entitled attitudes, and were completely replaceable. That made my decision even easier. I showed up at the office unannounced and walked straight into the HR department. "We're making some changes," I told them. "Effective today, I want these 3 employees terminated." A few hours later, Jessica and her friends were called into a meeting. They entered the conference room, chatting and giggling, until they saw me sitting at the head of the table. Jessica frowned. "Mark. What are you doing here?" I smiled. "Oh, didn't you know? I own this company." She looked like she had been slapped in the face. Her friends exchanged nervous glances. I took a deep breath. "Due to a recent restructuring, we have to let go of underperforming employees. Effective immediately, your employment is terminated." Jessica gasped. "You can't do this." "Oh, I can. And I just did." Her friends were in shock. Claire started crying. Samantha looked like she wanted to scream. Jessica. She was completely frozen. "You mean to tell me, this whole time, you were the owner?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. I leaned back in my chair. "Oh, I thought you loved being the only one with a job in this marriage." "Guess what, Jess? Now neither of us have to work." She stared at me, her face pale with humiliation. She tried to argue, but there was nothing left to say. That night, she packed her bags and left. As for me, I continued living my life on my own terms. And let me tell you, revenge has never been so satisfying. Epilogue. It's been a year since I fired Jessica and her friends. I've been focusing on my own happiness, traveling the world, and pursuing my passions. Jessica, on the other hand, has been struggling to find a new job. She's had to swallow her pride and apply to entry-level positions, a far cry from the high-powered job she had at my company. I've heard through mutual friends that she's been telling people that I'm a cruel and heartless man for firing her. But I know the truth. I was simply taking back control of my life and my business. I've also been working on rebuilding my personal life. I've started dating again, and I've met someone amazing. Her name is Emily, and she's kind, supportive, and loves me for who I am. We've been together for a few months now, and it's been a breath of fresh air. She's been a great source of comfort and encouragement, and I'm grateful to have her by my side. As for Jessica, I wish her all the best. I hope she's learned a valuable lesson about the importance of respecting and supporting her partner. But I'm not holding my breath. I'm just happy to be moving on with my life, free from the toxic dynamic that had developed between us. I'm excited to see what the future holds, and I'm grateful to have Emily to share it with. The aftermath. The news of Jessica's termination spread like wildfire through our social circle. Some people were shocked, while others were not surprised at all. Her friends, Claire and Samantha, were devastated. They had been relying on Jessica to get them ahead in the company, and now they were left to fend for themselves. They tried to reach out to me, to apologize and make amends, but I wasn't having it. I had made it clear that I wouldn't tolerate disrespect and entitlement, and they had crossed that line. As for Jessica's family, they were shocked and disappointed. They had always thought that she was the perfect daughter, the perfect wife, and the perfect employee. But now they were seeing a different side of her. They tried to reach out to me, to mediate and resolve the situation, but I wasn't interested. I had made my decision, and I was sticking to it. The lesson learned. Looking back, I realized that I should have taken action sooner. I should have stood up for myself and asserted my boundaries. But I'm glad that I did eventually take action. I'm glad that I stood up for myself and showed Jessica that I wouldn't be disrespected. I hope that my story can serve as a lesson to others. Don't let anyone walk all over you. Don't let anyone disrespect you. Stand up for yourself, assert your boundaries, and take back control of your life. And always remember, revenge is sweet. If you enjoyed this story of karma and revenge, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling content. What would you have done in this situation? Let us know in the comments below. And hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.